Ashley, and I am one of the social chairs for the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. Thank you, everybody, so much for taking the time to come out tonight. Today's facilitator is Chris Fitzpatrick, a professional speaker and proud alumnus of Montclair State University, who earned his bachelor's degree in business administration as part of the class of 2004. During his time at Montclair, Chris was a member of the wrestling team from 1999 to 2001, when it competed as a Division III NCAA program. Chris then became the vice president and president of the Student Government Association and remains active in the alumni community. Chris has delivered the alumni address at Montclair State's commencement 7 times and has hired dozens of MSU students and alumni into internships and full-time roles at 3 companies. Now, as the owner of Chris Fitzpatrick Speaks, LLC, he travels the country inspiring students and professionals on topics like leadership, personal branding, and career success. As a self-professed aspiring game show host, Chris brings engagement and fun to important issues and, of course, some fabulous prizes. Please join me in welcoming Chris Fitzpatrick.
Oh, she is good. You should do the presentation. You just take it over. I'll give you the clicker, and I'll just go sit in the back. That was outstanding. One more round of applause for Ashley. Outstanding. Ashley's not going to go too far because we're gonna have a little fun with Ashley in a moment. I want to thank everybody for having me here this evening. This is a fantastic crowd. Folks were on time. People were sitting up front, which is good because there's going to be a lot of audience participation in some of the games that we have here. We got some prizes to give away. There will also be time at the very end if you have your smartphones on you. I will put up a feedback slide. Feedback is very important to me. I want to hear what you think of the presentation. I want to know what you got from it, what your takeaways were, what you learned, and that will help me to continue to refine this presentation. And also, anybody who provides me feedback by using this QR code, they will get 2 PDFs, 2 items sent to their email that are part of the skill development side of what we're going to be talking about tonight. So tonight's going to be heavy on professional development, but it's also going to be heavy on games and fun. And again, as a self-professed aspiring game show host, you're going to see a little bit of that tonight. So, Ashley, since you did such a wonderful job of introducing me and welcoming everybody tonight, how would you like to be the first contestant? Do you need your mic? Yes, you will need your microphone. How do we feel that Ashley is the first contestant for our game tonight? We feel all right? All right, outstanding. Usually when a speaker comes into a room, the first thing they tell you is what you're going to be doing. I go the opposite direction. My first game is called What We Won't Do Today, and we're going to cover all of the things that we will not be doing. Has anybody ever seen an old school, and by old school I mean 1970s, 1980s game show called Concentration? No. So one guy's hand went up and then very quickly went down. It's like, not me. So Concentration was hosted by Alex Trebek before Alex Trebek hosted Jeopardy! And the idea behind it was you match these numbers and it revealed a picture puzzle, and you had to try and figure out what the picture puzzle was before your other contestant did to win the prize. Now, you're not going to have to reveal any numbers or memorize anything, but I have 12 picture puzzles for you to solve with the help of the rest of the student athletes of Montclair State University. How do you feel about that?
Amazing.
Oh, yeah. All right. Who's ready to help Ashley win this game? Feel all right? Audience participation is big here. We have 12 puzzles, and the category is sports cliches. So anybody who watches a lot of sports, the things that the commentators say or the things that maybe you hear your coaches say in the locker room, 12 sports cliches, and Ashley's going to try and figure them out. We'll put 2 minutes on the clock. Ashley, are you ready?
As ready as I can be.
All right. I say, Jess, can we get the lights so everyone can see them? All right, first picture puzzle, help Ashley out. What are we looking at?
My stomach hurts.
What do we see in the middle? Work out in the middle. Check. What do we see at the end? All right, check, time.
I don't watch a lot of sports.
Push the limit.
Close. Crunch time is a really good guess. Not just your stomach, but your
ab. No.
Your gut. Yell it out to her.
Gut check.
Gut check time. It's gut check time. That's a sports cliche. Gut check time. All right, let's try this one. See if you know this one.
Keep your eye on the ball.
Keep your eye on the ball. All right, now we got a little momentum going. All right, try. This one's a little trickier. First of all, don't.
Pull.
Yep. Don't pull.
Through.
Nope. What are we doing here?
Don't pull.
Anybody know? Got it right here. Don't pull punches. We have it right here. Don't pull punches. Don't pull punches. That means full force. That means don't hold back. Don't pull punch. Do they still use these cliches in sports? Oh, no. All right, well, then I'm educating everybody on sports cliches. Outstanding. All right, this one's tricky. Football should get this one. All right, good. Quarterback is on the bottom. You figured that one out real fast. What's up top? 2 words up top. There's 3 words total, but there's 2 from the top. Anybody know Monday morning quarterback? Monday morning quarterback. Who knows Monday morning quarterback? All right, man. Our sport. All right, we need to do sports cliches. Then you all got to help me with this one. This one's easy. Let's work on our math. 110%. Give 110%. That one hasn't gone anywhere, right? All right, this one. If you're an underdog. Cinderella story. Cinderella story. All right. If you are good under pressure. Ice in your veins. You're good under pressure. You have ice in your veins. This one is tough. The ones on the left, I'll give you a hint. Those are textbooks. What are the kids doing? You got it over here. Textbook play. It's a textbook play, just the way they drew it up in practice. All right, what are those shapes? What are we doing? You hear them? Fire on. Fire on all cylinders. Fire on all cylinders. Fire on all cylinders. All right, this one's a little bit tricky. 2 pages of a book. Person on the left has to get over to the right. We want everybody where? Everybody on the same page. Everybody on the same page. Couple more. 4 words. I heard it over here. Dude, field hockey's good at this game. Say it loud.
Do or die.
Do or die time, right? Do or die time. Feel like that. All right, last one. Tail is correct. And what do we see on the right? A tail of 2 halves. Football got that one. Tail of 2 halves. Tail of 2. All right, let's get our lights on. Let's give Ashley a round of applause. No, not at all. It's tricky, and you had a lot of help. Your teammates definitely helped you out. So first of all, for participating in our first game, I have our first prize. The prizes I'm going to give out tonight, I don't know if anybody told you this, I like to give out books. Because I like to recreate that feeling on Christmas morning when you go downstairs and you open up your stocking and your mom and dad got you socks. Right? You're really kind of, the game show host guy brought books. I thought we were going to get a car. No cars tonight. But I got 2 copies of The Champion's Mind, which is one of the books that inspires the topic that we're going to be talking about today. Why am I giving you 2 copies? Because I want you to choose somebody in the audience to give 1 copy to who's not a part of your team. All right? So somebody here is going to get a copy of The Champion's Mind from Ashley, and the other one is yours to keep. All right? But we're not done. Not just a champion's mind, but a champion's effort. Don't leave just yet, Ashley. We have one more thing. Oh, you see, one of your helpers, absolutely. If anyone earned it, absolutely outstanding. What's your name?
Marissa.
Marissa, thank you for helping Ashley. Let's give Marissa a round of applause too. You know what, Marissa, come on up. I want to You don't want to come up? All right, send Ashley back up. Ashley, come on back up. Would we say that was a championship effort on Ashley's part? You feel like that she put an effort in, gave a championship, right? All right, so I have something new that we've never had before in one of these talks, and a few people are going to get to hang on to this today, but for a championship effort, I think a champion needs a belt. So, Ashley, you get to hold on to that. You get to hold on to that for being our first contestant until our second game. Thank you, Ashley. All right. So our first game is in the books. And among the things we're going to talk about this evening is we're going to talk a lot about skills. Athletes have a very unique skill set. I say that in my best Liam Neeson voice. A very unique skill set. There's something that separates you from other job seekers, from other students, from other individuals. Is what makes you unique. Now, my background is in talent acquisition and campus relations, which means over the last 20 years, I have been to several hundred career fairs. I have interviewed approximately somewhere between 55 and 70,000 students for jobs in a variety of different industries and markets. And some of my favorite interviews were student athletes because of the skill set and because of the unique perspective that so many of you had. And that's what I want to focus on a little bit today, is a little bit of an insider look at what skills are so important, why they're important, why athletes have these skills, and how to use these skills after you graduate when you're looking for internships, when you're looking for jobs. Anybody getting ready to graduate in May? Okay, who's current? That most people are not. Okay, so you got some time. How many of you are currently looking at internships or thinking about looking at internships? How many of you haven't even thought about that yet? All right, that's not abnormal, right? That happens. Starting to consider what the skills are that you're going to be taking with you into an interview, into a full-time job, is going to be extremely important. Now, historically, it's been divided up into two categories, hard skills and soft skills. I'm not a big fan of those two terms. Hard skills and soft skills seem to suggest that one is harder than the other and that the other is less important. And actually, the truth is, it's really the opposite. In many cases, the skills that were listed under the soft skills were as important or more important than even the hard skills. All right? So now, the prevailing wisdom is that there's closer to 3 different categories of skills that we take a look at. First is technical skills. Now, technical skills are generally specific to a particular type of role, to a particular industry. These skills are often necessary to do a specific type of job. And there's a whole variety of different technical skills that are specific to you and to your role. All right? This is just a short example of a few of the different types of technical skills. You see here, data analysis. Anybody who's going into data science or ends up going into data analytics, that's a technical skill set. Coding and programming for anyone who's studying computer science. Any marketing majors out there? Where are my marketing majors in the room? There's a few of us. I was a marketing major. I was management and marketing here. Right? So your social media marketing, your SEO, these are technical skills for people on the marketing side. And you see a whole host of others. Now, these skills are very important as kind of a baseline that you need to pursue certain types of jobs. And they are very specific to that particular role or that particular industry. The second category is something we call transferable skills. Now, transferable skills can still be specific to a type of job, but they're very portable to different companies, different organizations, or even different industries. They don't apply to every job, but they are important to a lot of jobs. You will see a lot of roles require analytical thinking. If you find yourself going out for a leadership or a management position, your management skills and your leadership skills are among your transferable skill set. And I keep those two separate because management skills and leadership skills are not necessarily the same thing. Can you be a good leader without being a manager? Yes. Yeah. Can you be a good leader without being a manager? Can you be a manager without having leadership skills? Has anybody in here ever worked for a manager who you swear had no leadership skills whatsoever? A lot of heads are nodding yes. I know I have, right? Where I'm wondering, how the heck did this person get put in charge of other human beings? Short on leadership skills, but they're in a management role. The two are not mutually inclusive. Project management and then persuasion and negotiation. These are your sales skills. These are your influence skills. You do not need to be a salesperson in order to have or need sales skills. Influence, persuasion, negotiation. These are important skills across a whole host of different roles. All right, everyone with me so far? All right. Last but not least, and this might be the most important set of skills we talk about, and these are your essential or your power skills. Now, your essential and your power skills are going to be critical in just about every job imaginable across the board. You will not find many jobs or many careers that will not highlight these skills specifically. These are some of the most important skills that anybody can have in the job search. Communication skills, we're going to talk about that a lot today. Emotional intelligence, or what we hear stylized as EQ, as opposed to IQ. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Your work ethic, your time management, your professionalism, your teamwork, and your coachability. Now, I will tell you that part of the reason I love speaking with athletes and I love interviewing athletes is because, generally speaking, a lot of these skills are skills that you've all had the opportunity to develop in your athletic careers, right? Work ethic is not just how hard you're willing to work, but also the pride that you take into your work and that competitiveness, that competitive spirit that drives you and drives your teammates. That's important to an organization. Every single company I've ever worked at has looked at work ethic as being one of the key skills they want to see. No one wants to hire somebody who's lazy. Nobody wants to hire someone who doesn't care. Teamwork is right up there at the top. Teamwork is something that, for obvious reasons, you all have a very high level of. You know what it's like to collaborate, to have to depend on others, and to be part of a team. And coachability, being able to take constructive feedback, being able to hear something that maybe you don't like, or see something that didn't go so well, and being able to game film it and be able to take a look at it. So when I work with mentees, and I've mentored a lot of students here at Montclair State and a few other schools as well, this is a tool I like to utilize a lot. This is called a SWOT analysis. Who has heard the term SWOT analysis before? Okay, outstanding. I'm going to go to my friend right here on the end. SWOT analysis stands for what?
Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Nailed it. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Thank you very much. Sorry, I keep putting people on the spot. But I want to hear from the audience as much as you all have to hear from me tonight. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The SWOT analysis historically has been used by organizations and teams when they're assessing their company or they're assessing a product or their place in the market. A company will do a SWOT analysis to say, what is it we're good at? What do we excel at? What are we not good at? Where are our challenges? What are the opportunities that we can take advantage of? And what are the threats that we have to manage? Now, it's important to note, strengths and weaknesses are internal. You own those. You control those. You are in charge of your strengths. You are in charge of your weaknesses. You can choose to develop certain skills into strengths. You can choose to address certain weaknesses in order to make them less of a weakness or even turn it into a strength. In an interview setting, there's a very good chance at some point you will be asked the dreaded "what are your weaknesses?" question. Anybody ever hear that in an interview before? All right, a couple hands went up, right? A few people have heard, what are your weaknesses? This could be one of the hardest questions to answer in an interview because nobody wants to talk about what they're not good at when the person on the other side of that desk is going to decide whether or not they're going to hire you. That's very challenging, but the key point about weaknesses and why a SWOT analysis can be so useful is because you can't run away from the weaknesses. The worst thing that you can do is try and give some BS answer to that question. And I've heard the BS answers, trust me. People who do what I do, who interview people for a living, we've got certain superpowers, and one of them is we see through the BS answer of somebody who's trying to answer the weakness question like it's a strength. What are your weaknesses? I work too hard. I've heard that one like 100, 200 times. I work too hard. Really? Your weakness is you work too hard. Okay. Do you have to work too hard because you don't manage your time well? because you put things off to the last minute and you have to make up for lost time? Do you work too hard because you don't delegate? Do you work too hard because you don't understand what you have to do in a project before you start doing it? These are some follow-up questions that can make that question really challenging in the end. Being honest about your weaknesses is one of the best things you can do, right? Now, I'm not saying you're going to be so honest where you're going to go in there and you're going to say, yeah, I'm really lazy. I just don't want to do anything. I just don't care. That's a pretty big weakness. You probably won't get a job with that interview answer, right? But you do want to talk about something that you are addressing and something that you are working on. This is where coachability becomes very important. Opportunities and threats. These are environmental. You can't control those, but you can control your response to them. The big difference between an opportunity and a threat is the difference between a stepping stone and a stumbling block. The biggest difference is where you put your foot. You can use something as an opportunity, or you can let it control you like a threat, but these are environmental. You need to be aware of your opportunities and how you're going to take advantage of them, and also understand what your threats are so you can mitigate them and minimize them. And I have a copy of this SWOT analysis here for, I think, everybody in the room. Jess and Dwight, would you all mind helping me pass these out so everybody gets them? I think I brought enough for everyone. You can take these home with you and you can use them to guide you as you decide what your strengths and weaknesses and what your opportunities and threats are. You can add to this. You can change things on it. And if you ever need a new one, you just email me and I will email you the PDF. There are also some guides on the back. It's a two-sided document. So you'll see the definition here of your strengths. These are the things that separate you in a positive way. And when you're filling out your strengths, you're going to ask yourself, what are you good at? And how can you use those strengths? So I'm going to ask if I can put someone on the spot here. I know I'm taking a risk. But is anybody willing to share one of their strengths? If you were asked in an interview, what are your strengths? What are you good at? What's the first thing that you would want that interviewer or that manager to know about you? Who's willing to take a shot at this one? One of these teams got to step up. All right, cool. I'll pass that back to you. What's your name, man?
Eldine.
Eldine?
Is my mic working?
Oh, I don't know. One of my weaknesses is technology.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, let's see. All right, the battery's going on, so just use my...
Thank you for the shot. You told me to talk to you about my strengths?
Yeah, just one strength that you think you would use in an interview setting. What's one strength that you would...
Geez, I don't know.
Decisiveness.
I guess it's I guess it's decisiveness. No, it's really I'm able to discuss with people like on my feet. You know, when you're next to someone, you're able to have a civil human conversation. I think I could do that very well.
All right.
Hey.
All right, excellent. So that's part of communication, right? Improv, can we give him a round of applause for being the first one to step up and talk down the strengths? Very cool. Right, so being able to have a conversation with another person, being able to think on his feet, being able to improv a little bit, that's a very valuable skill. We're going to talk a little bit about that in a moment. Same thing with weaknesses, things that you struggle with, areas that you want to work on. What can you improve on? What can you do to address them? Opportunities, circumstances around you. What opportunities exist and how do you take advantage of them? And threats can be harmful to you. They are in your environment and they can hinder your progress and keep you from your goals. Ask yourself what threats exist and how do you manage those threats. So the SWOT analysis can be a very useful tool for you as you're trying to manage through the self-awareness piece when you're going into an interview. So I want to play another game, and we're going to play a game that focuses on the skills. How many of you have heard of a game show called Family Feud? Nobody knew concentration. Well, one guy knew concentration, but he was embarrassed about it. That's okay. But we know Family Feud, and this is not Family Feud. It's a form of something like Family Feud. I call it Top Answers. And I need 4 contestants. And I'm going to give 4 contestants each one of these dry erase boards, a marker, and an eraser. Who wants to play Top Answers? One person wants to play Top Answers. In the red shirt wants to play Top Answers. right here in the corner wants to play top. Are you in? Are you in? And in the back standing up wants to play top answers. All right, come on up. We have 4 contestants. All right. I'm going to give each of you a dry erase board. I'm going to grab one from the top. There you go. That works too. Choose your marker. Went for the red one. Very good. All right. Outstanding. And there are erasers over here from when you are done. Ashley, can I ask you to bring the Chris Fitzpatrick Speaks Championship belt back to the front so we can award it to the winner of top answers in a little bit? Thank you very much, Ashley. I appreciate that. All right. One of you 4 will be the next holder of the championship belt, but we also have copies of Mindset by Carol Dweck, one of the great books on personal psychology. Very, very valuable for athletes. Here is the game. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to put the question up on the board. You'll have 30 seconds. Actually, let's make it 45. 45 seconds to write up to 5 answers on your board. And whoever has the most matches on their board with what I post on the screen will win. So it's a combination of Family Feud and Match Game, if anybody's ever seen Match Game. You can get help from the audience. If you want, I have to ask you your name.
Bella.
Bella, your field hockey team has been outstanding with, first of all, this is the group that came to the front right away, sat down. We had a lot of help in the first game, so if you want to go over to the field hockey team and get help on these answers, you do that. Softball, football, what's your sport, man? Also football? Oh, man, y'all going to be okay? Oh, okay. All right, I want to make sure. All right, you can get help from the audience on your 5 answers. Crowd, how do we feel about helping our 4 contestants win this game? Oh, man. All right. Here's the question. According to the American Association of Colleges and Universities survey, the Career Ready Graduate, what skills did employers say were, quote, very important in identifying job candidates? The top 7 answers are on the board. You have 45 seconds to write up to 5. Go. Bella is writing furiously. Somebody's going to be able to sit with this for a little bit.
What did you say?
Football team, you write 5, up to 5. Football team, are our loyalties divided here? We're going to find out who we like better. No, we're good? We're helping everybody? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys like this?
I think we got 20 seconds left. I'm not really counting. All right. 5 answers on your boards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Close your markers, please. All right. So we know we have Bella from field hockey. Hi. What's your name?
Jayla.
Jayla from softball. Jayla, who's here to root for Jayla? Nice. What's your name, my man?
Isaiah.
Isaiah from football? All right, Isaiah from football. And?
Anthony.
And Anthony from football. Isaiah and Anthony. How do we feel about Isaiah and Anthony? All right. All right, let's see what we have. I'm going to post the 7 answers one at a time, and if it's on your board, hold it up for everybody to see, and you will get 1 point. Whoever has the most points after all 7 answers have been revealed will win the next prize. If there's a tie, I have multiple books, and then multiple turns with the belts. Number 1 is verbal communication. Yes? Yes? All 4 have communication on their board. Everybody has communication. Now, does everybody have communication or does anybody have verbal communication? Communication? Okay, good. That's 1 point for everybody, but you're going to see why I asked that question in just a moment. All right, answer number 2, adaptability and flexibility. Does anybody have flexibility? No? Nobody? Did anybody out there yell that out to them saying you should put flexibility? I see a hand in the back. It's like, yeah, I told them. They didn't listen to me. All right. Adaptability and flexibility is number 2. Number 3 answer. Teamwork, collaboration. Teamwork. Uh-oh, football. What happens? Okay, we didn't put, all right. So we've got 2 points each over here. We have 1 point each over here. Teamwork and collaboration are on the board. What is the number 4 answer? Critical thinking and problem solving. Anybody solving problems on their board? No problem solvers on the board? All right, critical thinking and problem solving. Still 2-2-1-1. Motivation, initiative, being motivated, taking initiative. Anybody have anything like it? Go ahead. Work ethic, leadership, they're similar, but they're different. Gentlemen? No, work ethic did not count for this one. Nope. Written communication, we already know they put communication, but you'll notice verbal is up here and written is up here because each of those skills came up in this study separately. We'll talk about why in a moment. All right, there's only one left. We have a 2-way tie for first and a 2-way tie for not first. Let's see what's going to come up as the number 7 answer. Working with different people, respect for diversity. Does anybody have that? We had teamwork and collaboration on there, but working with different types of people and diverse types of people. All right, gentlemen, what do you have on your boards? Yeah.
Communication, work ethic, leadership, trustworthiness, accountability.
Outstanding. All 5 of those are good. All 5 of those are good answers. How about you?
Leadership, accountability, communication, work ethic, mental fortitude.
Mental fortitude, the mental toughness. I like that one. All right. Maybe we need a new study. All right. Bella?
Time management, emotional intelligence, communication, work ethic, and teamwork.
Outstanding. Very, very cool.
Communication, teamwork, emotional intelligence, responsibility, time management, leadership skills.
That's 6.
Yes.
Okay. That's okay. That's 6 of them. All right. Can we give our contestants a round of applause? I think you all did a really nice job. So I'm going to give each one of you a copy of Mindset by Carol Dweck. It is an outstanding book about the importance of a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. But I think given the way everything went, I think Bella's going to hold the belt for a little bit. This is probably as tall as this season. There we go. Outstanding. Have fun with the belt. That's heavy. It is a 6-pound belt. All right, everybody. I'll take your boards back. Here we go. Bella, smile for the camera. Bella's having a great time. All right, I'll take your boards back. Thank you, everybody. Round of applause for our contestants. Excellent job. Thank you, everybody. All right. A lot about skills here. These were our top 7. Now, I will tell you, every single skill that our contestants talked about is important. And in fact, there are some skills that were listed that I thought were better than the ones that were on the study. I love mental fortitude. I thought that was awesome, right? I love the fact that everyone was talking about work ethic. That is critical. It's a through line. But these are skills that employers specifically called out and said that if they have these things, then this will be important in our decision whether or not we're going to hire somebody. Now, I want to make a quick point about verbal communication and written communication. These are very, very different types of communication. As a matter of fact, there are 4 different ways in which we communicate. I've given you 2 of them, verbal and written. Who thinks they know what one of the other 2 is? Right here in the front.
Body language.
Okay, body language is part of your non-verbal communication. So yes, that's the correct answer. Round of applause. Your verbal communication are the words you use, your vocabulary, your volume, your pitch, your variation, Everything that is the words you use and how they are actually coming out of your mouth. Your body language, your nonverbal communication, which many studies believe is more than 60 to 70% of how you convey your message, more so than your verbal communication. This is your body language. This is your eye contact. These are your handshakes. These are your smiles. This is your attire. This is your posture, your haptics, if you talk with your hands or if you don't talk with your hands, right? Being aware of physiological reactions to stress, right? I mentioned earlier that I've gone to hundreds of career fairs in my time. And in post-COVID, this always makes me feel a little skeeved out when I have to say this. That means I've probably shaken something like 70,000 hands at career fairs. And they're not all as pleasant a handshake as some of the others, where some of the folks who get really nervous about being at a career fair have what I call the M&M syndrome, right? Their palms are sweaty, their knees weak, their arms are heavy. You know what I'm talking about, right? Where their hands are actually sweating from stress. And they walk up to me and it's like I just pulled a catfish out of the water, right? It's very disconcerting. But at the same time, what I don't want is for somebody to come up to me and be like, "Hey, how you doing? That was a good handshake. Yeah, thank you," right? So being aware of the physiological reaction to stress or to pressure, that's part of your nonverbal communication. Your written communication, these are your emails, these are your text messages. This is your resume. Anything that you put out online, anything that you use to respond. Basically, it's verbal communication in written form. I want to do a quick experiment. I'm going to ask you to stand up if you have a LinkedIn profile. If you have LinkedIn, stand up. Field hockey again. Nice. All right, so just to look around, about half the room is standing. Now, stay standing if you can tell me confidently that your LinkedIn profile is 100% complete. Wow. All right, round of applause for our two people, right? All right, you can all sit down now. Think about this. Think about this. There's over 100 people in this room. About half of you have a LinkedIn profile, and two of you, so 2% of the room, approximately, if my math is right, my Montclair State University mathematics courses, have a 100% complete LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is a free tool. You can complete it at any point in time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it is one of your best connection tools to a prospective employer, to a mentor, to alumni. So if you don't have one yet, I strongly encourage that you get one. If you have one and it's not 100% complete, there's no time like the present to do it. I passed out a bunch of my business cards earlier. On the back is a QR code for my Linktree, and also you provide the feedback, you'll get my LinkedIn on there as well. If you connect with me, I will accept it. If there is a company or a connection that you want to meet through me, you can do that. It's the beauty of that tool. But it is at your disposal. And if you're not using it, you're leaving networking opportunities on the table. The other point about written communication is it's very important to be aware of what you're writing and how you're writing it. I want to share a story. This is my favorite interview story from 50, 60, 70,000 interviews, and it wasn't even mine. I have a colleague, or had a colleague at a prior company. Her name is Jennifer. Jennifer hired me. Phenomenal recruiter. And she is scheduling an interview with a gentleman, sends him an email saying, "You're going to meet with me at this place, this time, this location." He's on his cell phone, and he responds back immediately. We don't know if he was driving. We don't know if he was in class. Whatever it was, he responded hastily. And what he thought he wrote back to Jen was, "Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you soon." Anybody have a problem with that? That sounds nice, right? That's good, right? Football thinks it's good. One problem. He spelled one word wrong. But that's okay. That's okay, because what does he have on his phone? Autocorrect. He has autocorrect. Autocorrect fixed the misspelled word for him. Sort of. What he actually ended up emailing Jen was, "Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to sleeping with you soon." Jen, to her everlasting credit, forwards this email to our entire recruiting team with the subject line, "I hope he buys me dinner first." Jen is one of the funniest people I have ever met, and I guarantee you this individual never sent another email without proofreading it again in his life. In case you're wondering, no, he did not get hired, and no, that was not the reason why. But it was a hilarious story I've been telling for 15 years. Don't fall into the trap of forgetting to proofread your emails, your texts before you send them. Don't be that guy, right? There is one more type of communication. We have verbal communication, nonverbal communication, written communication. There's one more left. Does anybody know what it is? Who thinks they know? Shout it out. Self-communication. What is it? Self-communication. Self-communication. That's interesting. I don't hear that one very often. So you can communicate with yourself a variety of different ways. I think that's a terrific answer. It's not the one I'm looking for, but it's a good answer, right? But you can, I talk myself through problems, right? If you journal or if you write down notes for yourself, your written communication, that's self-communication in some cases, right? Note to self. And in some cases, even your body language speaks to you, right? How you're feeling or where your mindset is at that moment. That is self-communication, but that's also outward communication. No, there's still one more. Anybody want to take a stab at it? All right, that's okay, because I have a game. I need a volunteer who likes to catch footballs. I saw a hand come up, even though you didn't raise it yourself. Rock, paper, scissors for it. This is easy. All you have to do is catch a ball. All right. Come on up. Yeah. Come on, let's get some louder applause in here for our next contestant. Hi. What's your name? Alyssa, welcome to our third game. Okay, this game is really very simple. This game is called Catch the Ball. The only thing you need to do is catch the ball. Do you have any questions about the rules of the game? Is everyone clear about the rules of the game? All right, outstanding. Now, I will tell you, I am a fan of football. I watch with my 7-year-old. He's obsessed. He knows more about football than I do now. And we love watching our beloved Green Bay Packers on Sundays. Oh, I heard groans from the crowd. Wow, come on. What's a pack? Oh, they're a 4-time Super Bowl champion. That's what they are. All right, so I am Jordan Love. Alyssa, you are Jaden Reed, right? And I'm going to throw you this ball, and you're going to catch the ball. All right? Let's give Alyssa some encouragement as we get ready to catch the ball. Alyssa, what happened? There was a throw? It came out of my arm?
That was backwards.
That was backwards. So you're blaming my throw? I told you to catch the ball. How do y'all think Alyssa got a raw deal on that one? You think that was my fault? Yeah. All right, you want to try it one more time? Yeah. All right, let's try it one more time. All right. Jordan Love was under pressure. It's those damn Detroit Lions. All right, here we go. Make a little noise. We got it. Thank you very much, Alyssa. Now, hold on. For catching the ball, you get a copy of Atomic Habits by James Clear. Bella, where's the belt?
Yeah, Liz.
You can let one of your teammates hold it if you want. All right, Alyssa's our new champion. Round of applause for Alyssa, our new champion. And your copy of James Clear's Atomic Habits. What was wrong with the first throw? Didn't make it. Was off target. Do you think Alyssa would have caught it if I'd thrown it to her? Obviously, because I did it right the second time, and Alyssa caught it. That happens with our messaging and our communication sometimes. If my message is not delivered the way I intend it, and it goes over there and Alyssa doesn't catch it, in a football game, if I throw a ball and no one's there to catch it at the other end, how many points do you score? None. How many yards? None. If it's bad enough, the other team scores 2. It's called a safety. That's how communication is. What if I threw the ball perfectly and Alyssa dropped it? How many points? How many yards? The fourth type of communication is listening. It's about how you receive the message. Could you imagine a football team only ever training the quarterback, but never working with the receivers, the running backs, or the tight ends on how to catch the ball, how to receive the message? And yet we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, but we exist in 2 states, speaking and waiting to speak. How often do we listen actively and listen to understand and not to hear? That is the fourth kind of communication, and that impacts your coachability. How well do you listen to the message that is being delivered? Now, all of these skills that were on this survey make up what we call a skills gap. All right? Anyone out here ever take an economics class? All right, a few people taking economics. What's the first law of economics? I heard somebody started saying it. First law of economics. Supply and demand. Supply and demand. If demand is high and supply is low, prices go up. If supply is high and demand is low, prices go down. With skills, there is a supply and demand with these skills. Employers have said that there are skills we want in our company that are in high demand. We need these skills. But they've also said that they're in low supply among recent college graduates. Verbal communication. 81% of employers surveyed said we have a demand for verbal communication skill. Only 49% said that they feel as though the applicant pool and their new hires are effective at communicating verbally. A 32-point gap, which means that if you communicate verbally at a high level, you are filling that gap and you are providing something that is in low supply and high demand. Flexibility, adaptability. Let me ask you a question. We're in a room full of athletes. On your field, on the pitch, on the ice, on the court, on any surface you play on, does everything always go exactly according to plan? Does every play that you ever draw up end up working exactly the way you practiced it? What do you do when things go wrong? Do you fold up into a ball? Do you quit? Do you blame the referees? No, not unless you're playing the Kansas City Chiefs. That was terrible. Kareem, edit that out. Kareem's even shaking his head. Nah, man. That was terrible. Flexibility and adaptability is how you handle when things do not go according to plan. How do you deal with the unexpected? How do you respond to failure? 30-point gap. Critical thinking skills, being able to look at problems in new and novel ways and being able to come up with new solutions that help solve a problem. 79% of employers say we want this skill. 49% say that they get it. In written communication, a 23-point gap. There are opportunities for each of you to use the skills that you develop both as athletes and in school to help meet a demand that is not being met by the supply. Now, there's a very good reason why I gave away a copy of Atomic Habits by James Clear. Atomic Habits is based on this idea. This author really boils it down to its simplest form. That there are these small things that we do that sometimes nobody sees that makes us great at what we do. And it's changing the smallest item, making that 1% adjustment every day. That's hard to notice, but in the long run, ends up taking somebody from good to great. Athletes know this better than almost anyone I work with. On the surface, people see your games, your meets, the wins, the goals, the outcomes, right? People get really excited. I am on Instagram every week, liking when I see the outcome of a lot of your games. I love keeping an eye on how we're doing. That's the stuff I see. Y'all just show up for games and perform at a high level every single time? What goes into it? What are you doing when you're not at the game? Practice. What else? Film. We're going to talk about film in a minute. Film. Game filming. What else? Weight room. Conditioning. Nutrition. Sleep. Study. All these things that we don't see on social media because we see the score and we see the outcomes. So your practices, your game film, your habits, your routines, your preparation. I'm not talking about your superstitions. I'm talking about the things that you do every day, every week that make you better. Job seeking has an element of these habits as well. And part of my challenge for everyone in here tonight is to think about how you as athletes can apply the same effort, work ethic, and habit that you apply to your sports to your job search, to your internships, and to your roles. Because on the surface, everyone sees when you get the job. It's really exciting when you post on LinkedIn that you're going to be starting to work somewhere, or you share with your family and your friends that you got hired, that you got an internship. That's awesome. But think of all the stuff we don't see under the surface. We don't see you working on your LinkedIn profile. We don't see all the resumes that you have to write, or going to the Career Center and getting a resume review. Your cover letters, your letters of recommendation, doing the applications. There are people who do hundreds of applications. It's tedious. It's not fun. Nobody enjoys the application. But it's important. It's a necessary step. Mentor discussions, the research you do, tracking your applications. A lot of people I know use Excel spreadsheets to track over 100 applications to different companies that they might potentially want to work at. I'm not even done. Mock interviews. Your interview attire, getting ready for what you're going to wear to the interview, how you're going to engage with people on LinkedIn, like alumni or individuals from an organization, asking for those letters of recommendation, following up on your applications, taking courses, brushing up on your skills, writing thank you notes. These are all little habits that you can apply to your job search that use that same mentality that you use as athletes. This is one of the PDFs that you'll get if you provide the feedback at the end of the presentation. All right? So we have a quick activity here. How am I on time, Jess? I think I'm probably getting close, right? All right. I want to try and get everybody out relatively on time tonight, and I still have one more game to play. So I want to prioritize that game. But I'm going to pass these out. You can take these with you. These are 2 job descriptions, one for a data analyst and one for a marketing communication specialist. Here's the challenge. Here's the activity. You go through this job description and you look at any word that gives you an indication of what skills they're looking for. This is a habit that you can get into when you're looking at a job description. How many of you have a resume that you use when you apply to a job right now? Okay, most of you. About half, a little over half. How many of you have more than one resume? Fewer of you, okay? Tailoring a resume to a particular job description or to a particular application is a really tricky but very helpful strategy in your job search, all right? I'm going to leave these over here. I'm going to leave these for people to be able to pick up on their way out, all right? So that way we can focus on getting to our last game and getting everybody out of here on time, all right? Because I also want to talk about playbook and game film. Playbook, you're familiar with this. This doesn't actually have to be a book. But your playbook are the series of the plays that you draw up in practice that you want to execute during a game. There is a playbook that you have when you are in your job search. This is the application. This is the company website. This is the social media. This is any of the information an organization puts out there to help you research that company and understand what's there. Think about it like your playbook. Game filming. Be self-aware of what you say in an interview. What's on your application? If there's something that you think you make a mistake on, think about it and try to work on it next time. The number of people who go through interviews and when they leave an interview immediately forget about everything that they said, they're losing the opportunity to game film with themselves and to say, what did I do well in that interview? What could I do better? That's why when somebody talked about game film, I thought that was a really good answer. You can game film almost anything. Resume review is game filming. Talking with a mentor is game filming. Asking for feedback on an interview is game filming. You can use it to your advantage. All right, I said we had one more game to play, and we're going to play a game called Playing the Percentages. Now, where I saw the belt floating around out there. There we go. Okay, outstanding. I'm going to come get the belt. We're going to have one more champion today. You look sad. I'm sorry. I'm taking it back. You okay? All right, cool. I need 4 contestants for playing the percentages. 4 contestants for our final game. Outstanding. Come on up. How'd I get 5? What's up, man? You want to play too? I got my 4 contestants. Well, but she raised her hand. Man, I like this guy. He's fun. All right. Playing the percentages is a relatively simple game. It is a high-low game. I am going to put a question up on the board. The answer is a percentage. Can I get you to come over here, please? Thank you. The answer is a percentage. One of you will answer the question, and the other person will guess if they think the correct answer is higher or lower. All right? The semifinal round, you only get 1 shot. Whoever wins will stay and play the finals, which is best of 3. Okay? So I have my second. Got my second mic here. Let's see if that works. What's your name?
Michaela.
Michaela. Hi, Michaela. How are you? Good. Excellent. Thank you. And?
Joe.
All right, Michaela and Joe. Michaela and Joe are going to play our first semifinal game. Let's give them a round of applause. Michaela and Joe, make sure you can see the screen. Let's do a practice run for everybody real quick so you know how the game is played. Let's do a practice run. This is an all play. All right, according to the NCAA, what percentage of hiring managers indicated that they are more likely to hire a candidate with a student-athlete background due to skills like teamwork, discipline, and time management? The correct answer is somewhere between 0 and 100%. What do you all think the answer is? I heard 75, I heard 87, 52. Okay. So one of you would be giving me the answer, and then the other person would say if they think it's higher or lower. I heard 75%. Do you think the right answer is higher or lower than 75? Higher? Who says lower? Who says higher? 82%. 82% of hiring managers said that the skills that you all bring to the table would have a positive influence on whether or not they would hire you. Michaela and Joe, are you clear on the rules? All right, here we go. Here's Michaela and Joe's question. What percentage of employers said they strongly agreed that recent college graduates are prepared to succeed in entry-level positions at their company? Michaela, do you want to play or pass? Do you want to answer with a percentage, or do you want Joe to do it? It's your choice, Michaela. You want to play or pass? Michaela's going to play. All right. Between 0 and 100. There we go. We got a round of applause out there. What percentage of employers say they strongly agree? What do you think?
I want to say 45%.
45%. Okay, Michaela thinks 45% of employers strongly agree that recent college graduates are prepared to succeed in entry-level positions. Joe, do you think the correct answer is higher or lower than 45%?
I want to say, because it's from the employer's POV, lower.
All right, how do you feel about Joe's answer? It's lower than 45. Who thinks 45 or higher? Not higher, lower, which means that Joe wins by 1 stinking percentage point. Joe, stay up. Michaela, thank you very much for playing. Thank you. 1%. All right, Joe, you're in the finals. Let's come over to our second semifinal. Hello, everybody. What's your name?
Kelly.
Hi, Kelly. Good to meet you. And?
Carly.
Kelly and Carly. Kelly and Carly, are you ready for your question? All right, Kelly and Carly. What percentage of leaders claimed that Gen Z job seekers lacked mental toughness? There's that mental fortitude we talked about before. Lacked mental toughness more than prior generations. These are leaders in an organization, company leaders, who believe that Gen Z job seekers lacked mental toughness. It's Carly. Carly, play or pass?
I'll play.
Carly is going to play. Carly, what do you say?
I'm going to say 76.
76%, just over 3/4. Carly says 76%. Kelly, what do you say, higher or lower?
Higher.
You say higher than 76%. How many of you feel good about Kelly's answer? It's higher than 76. How many of you like Carly's answer at 76 or below? It is lower. It is lower. So you said higher. Thank you, Kelly. Carly, you're in the finals. This means that 2/3 of company leaders think that the Gen Z generation lacks mental toughness more than prior generations. A, I don't buy it. B, I certainly don't buy it when it comes to student athletes. Mental toughness is one of the skills that sets you apart. All right, Joe and Carly. Joe and Carly, come on to the center. The finals are best of 3. Best of 3. We are going to crown our last champion here. Joe, you will play the first. Carly, you will play the second. All right, Joe, here's your question. What percentage of leaders claim that Gen Z job seekers were more difficult to train than prior generations? Here's that coachability skill we talked about. Audience, what do you think Joe should say? Joe?
Can I get like 30 more seconds?
You can get 3. You need an answer?
50%.
50%. We're going right in the middle with half, saying I think half of leaders claim Gen Z seekers are more difficult to train. Carly, higher or lower?
Higher.
How many of you agree with Carly that it's higher? 57%. It is higher. Carly, you're up 1-0 and you get to play. Number 2, what percentage of employers indicated they would be much more likely to consider hiring a student or a recent graduate who indicated they had held a leadership role? I saw that leadership skill on a lot of those whiteboards. What percentage of employers said that they would be much more likely to hire a student who indicated a leadership role?
75.
75%. Okay, Joe, do you think the correct answer is higher or lower than 75%?
Higher.
Higher than 75%. If Joe gets it right, we're tied. If Joe gets it wrong and it is lower than 75, Carly wins 69%. It was a good guess, but it was lower. Still really high. This means Carly is our final game champion. Now, hold on. For posterity, we do have another question, another statistic, and I'm here to educate as well as entertain. So, Carly, according to a national survey by Adecco, what percentage of college graduates said they wish they'd done more in college to prepare for their first professional job search?
85.
85%. Joe, how do you think about 85, higher or lower?
Lower.
We're going to go lower. I guess you got burned on the last one a little bit. There's only so much room higher. It is 71%. Still a high number, but Joe gets the third question. Carly wins 2-1. A round of applause for both of our contestants. And for both of our finalists, you get a copy of Grits by Angela Duckworth. I love this book, especially for athletes. In fact, there's a chapter in there specifically for student athletes. However, Carly, you are the final holder of our championship belt. Hold it proud, hold it high. Round of applause for Carly. And I will be happy to have all of our champions up at the end. You can take that back with you, show your friends, take a selfie with it. We'll get a photo with all our champions afterwards. And I want to leave you with some final thoughts here. Competitiveness is something that sets athletes apart in many ways, but in my research, I learned something very interesting, is that the word compete, there is a root to the word compete. It is the Greek word competere, which means to strive together or to seek together. The root of the word compete does not mention anybody losing. So as you leave here today and you go and you play your sports and you go to your classes and you look for your jobs, remember that you are all on the same team. You are on Team Montclair State, and that the best thing that we can all do is help support each other in our search and as we go forward. This is the QR code. I would like to invite everyone, please provide feedback. Let me know what you think of the session, what you'd like to see next time, what you learned, what you liked, what you loved. If anybody wants to do that exercise, I have the papers over here. If anybody would like a business card, come up and see me. And then if anybody needs a SWOT analysis, grab one. You all were awesome. Thank you, Montclair State University Redhawks. Good luck with your seasons. Good luck with your year. And thank you for joining us.